declaration of Kenya shillings 624 million as dividends on shares and Kenya shillings 3.5 million as interest on deposits that will be paid to members. This is not just a statistic on a balance sheet. This is real money going back to and a testament to the SACCO. It strengthens the how. This cycle of mutual benefit is exactly what we need. Distinguished delegates, the theme of your new strategic plan for the year 2025 to 2029, focusing on a thriving and sustainable future, is particularly resonant for me. As we navigate the complex security landscape in our country, the National Police Service is undergoing its own transformation. We are leveraging technology, enhancing our training curricula, and reinforcing our commitment to impartiality, professionalism, and adherence to the rule of law, all geared towards providing effective, people-centric, and accountable policing services for a safe and prosperous society. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we often talk about the dangers our officers face in the front lines, and those are very real. But there's also the quieter battle that many officers fight, the battle for financial stability. Your role as delegates is crucial in this fight. You are the link between the ordinary member and the leadership. I urge you to take this responsibility seriously. Be ambassadors of good financial discipline among your colleagues. Encourage them to save more, to utilize the SACCO's products wisely, and to participate fully in the governance of their institution. As I conclude, let me thank His Excellency the President and the Cabinet Secretary for Cooperatives, today represented by the PS, for their steadfast commitment to supporting the cooperative movement. As a result of such support, the Police SACCO, which is one of the largest and the most influential, must continue to flourish by consistently focusing on strengthening governance, digitizing operations, and safeguarding members' savings, socially empowered and secure. With these few remarks, I wish you very productive deliberations. Remarks for cooperatives. We call upon the Commissioner for Cooperatives, who will again introduce, who will call the PS to proceed from there. Thank you so much.
The Patrick Kremi, Madam Commissioner from the Chairman under your board, the management, without forgetting our NACOs that are present, and also our ACOSCA, the CEO, Mr. George Obado, the county government, habari zenu, to thank the entire management and the leadership of this great SACCO. You know, it requires a lot of, najua ukiona viarea vimeundwa. So far, I'm very happy for your performance. I can see already some of you are smiling because already you have received your dividends. So one thing I want to mention, our chief guest, is that SACCOs, they are very key partners in our economic development as a nation and as individuals, as citizens of this country. And because of that, I will urge all of us to guard our SACCOs seriously, to ensure that we are getting proper services, to ensure that governance is at the top gear, to ensure also we as members, whenever we get a loan from a SACCO, please let us utilize that loan for productive purposes. And by doing that, we are going to help not only ourselves, but we will also help our country to grow by even creating jobs to our young people. I always believe that once we get a loan and you invest that money for an MSME, at least for an enterprise somewhere, and you are able to employ 1 or 2 people to assist you run that small business, already you have created jobs to our young people. And that's all what we need to do so that all of us will contribute to our economic growth and development. Also, I want to urge all of us, the time we have, especially when we are already serving in service, like what Mbo has mentioned, let us please enhance our savings, because time will come when we may not have opportunity to save. You know, the graph of life, at a certain point, it starts going down. And as it goes down, you will find we are consuming more than we are producing. And that's the time you will come to realize that the saving you did to Kenya National Police SACCO is of a very much help in your life. Of course, I saw all of us, we were very happy when we were told we are getting our dividends. But I want us to go back to our roots. Dividend is good. Of course, it's a return on investment. But the major priority, primary goal, why we have joined the SACCO, is to create a platform where we can save. Let us save regularly. And whatever we save, if we happen to get a loan, let us use that loan for productive purpose. That is the primary goal. Then the rest, they are just by the way. But I'm not saying that we don't get dividends. Even me, I need dividend. But it is not the primary goal. I don't want us to be to a situation where we make dividend to become the major primary reason why we are joining a SACCO, which may make our management to start pleasing us by giving us unrealistic, dividends. And I know we have a few cases where, because of pressure from the members, from the delegates, the management have been trying to please the delegates by enhancing the dividends year in, year out, which is not commensurate to the growth of the SACCO. And that's why we must make our SACCO strong. And how to make our SACCO strong is to ensure that we adhere to the all prudential ratios as prescribed by SACCO, our regulator, and to ensure that every year, as we realize some surpluses, let us also have some reasonable retention that can strengthen our institution. I know you are doing well, but still we can do much better than what we are doing currently. And as I wind up, I know we have had election here, and hakuna uchaguzi mdogo ama uchaguzi kubwa. But I want to thank all of you for conducting yourselves in a very civilized way, reasonable way. You have exercised your democratic rights. And for those ones who have been elected, either unanimously and opposed, or through the competitive process, I congratulate you. And whoever who did not manage, don't feel that you don't lose your esteem, self-esteem. There is also another day. With this time, I want to request our principal secretary, our chief guest, to come and address us. And maybe let us welcome with a round of applause. Welcome our Principal Secretary, Patrick Kireni.
Thank you, please. You may have your seat. You know, when you come late, you don't know who even is in the house. So allow me to hide in the famous speech. I stand by the protocols earlier stated. But importantly, let me acknowledge the leadership of Police SACCO. I led by the very able chairman. Let me acknowledge the people who came before the chairman. I can see Mzee Mwandime there. I can see my brother here, Mbugua. You know, sometimes when we hear the elections, you are afraid. I was not running away from the elections. I was held up, but congratulations for exercising your democratic right in a very civilized way. And I congratulate all the winners. But importantly, I want to congratulate also the losers. I always say the biggest gift of leadership is to accept to be led, to support the leaders who have been elected. Because of the leadership, that just happened. It's not just democracy. And for those of us who subscribe to some kind of faith, truly believe that leaders are given for a reason, and they are given for a season, and they are given, there is always an hand of God in everything we see. So viongozi, asanteni for accepting and for committing to support this team. I bring you apologies and I bring you very warm regards from the team leader of the Ministry of Cooperatives and MSME, Honorable Dr. Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya, who could have wished to be here today, but due to exigencies of work, he had to travel to Western Kenya. But he wishes the National Police SACCO well. He is proudly associated with it, and he is very proud of the achievement this SACCO is able to do. Sometimes, in the ministry, we have challenges. We have challenges with many other SACCOs and many other cooperatives who struggle. They struggle with their performance, they struggle with good governance. And I thank God there are SACCOs like Police SACCO where we come and the numbers, the stories we hear are stories that help us believe, or they restore them belief that truly this cooperative philosophy is a philosophy that can transform humanity. It can transform the socioeconomic welfare of its members. Because the numbers you hear, these numbers are no joke. They're absolutely stunning, and I want to congratulate you, members of the Police SACCO, for them. You know, in the political space now, we are talking about Singapore. When I look around here, the faces of the people who are here, I see Singaporeans. I think before I came, 4 billion has just gone like that. Imeenda to 4 billion. Do you know 4 billion is a lot of money? It's so much money. Because it takes 3.5 years for you to finish 1 billion if you're on a mission of eating 1 million per day. And I'm sure, of course, you'll die before the first even. You can imagine. So I congratulate you. It is so much money that, again, you need to look at it in the context of what 4 billion can do. Hii barabara yetu tunatengenezewa kutoka Keno kuenda Marwa, the famous road. Ukiuliza ni pesa ngapi? See 15 billion. Ukiuliza Thika road tengenezwa na pesa ngapi? See 33 billion. It is. So in 10 years, if you guys decided to save, you could have built a Atalanta Stadium. But what is even more amazing is where you are going, the rate of growth. Because I was here, I've attended your AGM. This is the 4th ADM. And I look at the numbers. Last year, when we were here, the assets of National Police SACCO were 59 point something billion. Today, I'm being 66.6 billion. So you grew by a staggering 7 billion. Na nyinyi ni wanjanja. Hiyo 7 billion, ninyi mmekula tu 4 billion. Si ingine mmeweka kwa, you have retained. You know, my boss is boss. The president talks about savings. He says, the problem we have had as a country is that we are under challenge with our savings. And it is true. Because for a long time, tulikuwa tunalipa 200 shillings NSSF, na employer anatoa 200. Ati unaulizwa, unasema that is your old age plan. Thank you for embracing the concept of saving. I look at these numbers and I can say without fear that Police SACCO is going to be the first SACCO in Africa. Sasa hata mngojeni niwaambie what I can see. You know, prophetic moments come once in a life. Sasa labda hata imepita, you have distracted me. But Police SACCO is going to be the first SACCO in Africa to be worth $1 billion. In fact, I wanted to tell you the year it will be. Niwaambie. Using simple projections, if this 2025 you grew by 7 billion, and assuming even that 7 billion you grow with will not grow, you assume you maintain the same rate of growth for the next 5 years. In fact, in 3 years, 2028, you'll be nearing 90 billion. But for you to be 130 billion, you require to grow, you require another 3 years. So I can say with confidence, in 2032, when God willing, the grace of nikiwa tu hapa, anyway, if the president will be in 2032, sasa mimi nitakuwa. I'll be here to say, Police SACCO, the assets are 130 billion Kenya shillings, equivalent of $1 billion. You'll be not only number 1 in Kenya, you'll be number 1 in Africa, and maybe in the global map of SACCOs and credit unions, there will be a mark of the Police SACCO. That journey is anchored on a philosophy, I don't know where you got it from, of retaining your earnings. Because your core capital is now at 23 billion. Unbelievable. In fact, your core capital, if it was put in as a SACCO alone, it is in the top 10 SACCOs in this country. Sasa mtakuwa Police SACCO wako number, it will be number 4, I think. 4 to be number 3. No, I'm saying that 5 billion, your deposits. You'll be now. In fact, it's retaining. I think Arambe will pass you. You'll be number. Yeah, you'll be number 4. Police SACCO will be number 4. Maybe number 6 will be Police SACCO core capital. That's how strong you are, and I really want to congratulate you. The decisions you make here have established a SACCO that will continue to serve this force and all the members of police SACCO for many, many years to come. Unajua pesa, hii pesa yenu na nyinyi mmejua pesa ipendi kelele. You do your things swiftly. Bwana commissioner, pesa ipendi kelele. Ukisikia kelele imeanza kuingia pesa na yeye sina what happened. So I really want to congratulate you for that achievement and encourage you. The target, when I came in 2023, I talked about 100 billion. Sasa nimeona kwa sababu ninyi wanjanja, you are rushing there, nimechange currency. I want 1 billion US dollars. Chairman, treasurer anakuona hapo. Let us be serious. Let us be the first SACCO in Africa to have assets worth 1 billion US dollars. And as a government, we'll do everything we need. We'll give you, we commit, we reaffirm our commitment to do whatever it takes to ensure that this industry thrives. You have the necessary and the environment is conducive enough for you to save and for your savings to be safe. Allow me to restate that environment. Which environment is this you're talking about? You know, I'm a messenger, I'm carrying the speech of the minister. This environment is an environment where members of SACCOs who've been going home to sleep without having to worry about their savings. Because we have sung, we want savings of SACCO members to be as safe as those of a bank. It is now time we live that reality. The Honorable Cabinet Minister, in his wisdom, formed a committee of experts to relook at our SACCO ecosystem from a legal, policy, and administrative perspective. We did last week present the report to His Excellency the President, and this week we are in the honor and the pleasure of presenting that report to SACCO leaders across the country in Mombasa during the Cusco SACCO Leaders Forum. We are proceeding with speed to implement those provisions that will provide, among other things, a deposit guarantee fund and deposit guarantee insurance for our members, so that in their likely event, anything ever happens to police SACCO, the members' deposits, members' savings are safe. And we know it is possible, and we are very grateful for the KNDIC, Kenya Deposit Insurance Corporation. It has agreed to, we are working together with it. Because at the moment now, our treasury, our national, at the banking sector, member savings are guaranteed up to, even if the bank goes down, if provided your savings are 500,000 and you get your money the following day. Arunya SACCOs pesa yetu ikuangi mingi. For comparison, 90% of our deposits are around 100,000 and below. So quickly, but we should also able to take care of the heavy hitters, the big savers who police SACCO has, because I happen to have interacted with them in the last 2 or so years. The second thing is we are looking at our infrastructure, the ICT infrastructure. We want our SACCOs to ride on the best ICT infrastructure in the world. We have converted our SACCOs. Many of our SACCOs do not have the expertise, nor the know-how. But also we have many players. Kila mtu kutana naye anakuambia system. We want to clean up that space to ensure that we have a supermarket of a system where SACCOs will be going, you take a buffet, you take what you require, so that we bring the headache of having to manage systems, we remove it from our SACCO ecosystem. And again, I'm looking forward to work with the ICT practitioners, and I hope Police SACCO will be a leader in that space. As I started, we have many SACCOs, we have issues, many cooperatives, we have issues with good governance. And good governance, sometimes people push it. It is no longer band governance. You wonder what it is. We have, you have a band of people losing all their life savings because of bad leadership. We are introducing a provision where top managers will be cleared. Eligibility to serve, fit and proper test. You as delegate, when the board presents to you a finance director, it is not just the board was presenting to you. SACCO and the Commission of Cooperatives will be vetting the character. They will be validating the background. And the government, their systems, use of our partners to look at the character of those individuals so that we say this person is moral standing, his beliefs, his history indicates he has the capacity to serve an organization like Police SACCO. Fit and proper test, and the Kenyan banking system already has it. So we are looking at also entrenching those within our cooperative ecosystem. And maybe fourthly, I can talk about SACCO liquidity fund. Because within our SACCO infrastructure, within our SACCO ecosystem, we have many SACCOs which have a lot of money, and we have SACCOs who have liquidity challenges. There's a disconnect between the borrowers and the savers, the deposits and the loans. How can we, within that ecosystem, play and benefit each other? Because one of the principles of cooperatives is cooperation within cooperatives. We are looking at, and we are getting a lot of support from the World Bank. I'm working with the World Bank to see how can we establish that SACCO liquidity fund. So instead of somebody taking money you are put in the bank, Police SACCO, you are put in a fixed deposit, 5 billion, you are getting 6%. Then Mwalim SACCO comes and borrows the same money, and they are charged 18%. How can that differentiate? How can we arbitrage within that ecosystem so that the benefits of that disconnect between deposits and loan demand within SACCOs, which are not as strong as Police SACCO, we retain them within the ecosystem. So we are looking forward to working with our National Assembly, pushing through those amendments. We already have gotten, and we are very grateful to His Excellency the President, we have gotten cabinet approval for the amendment of the SACCO Act of 2008, and also our cooperative law, which addresses the core governance challenges we face within the cooperative. It's also in Parliament. In the last stages of approval, we are looking at having those two pieces of legislation settled by the President, so that now we can say we have given the movement the tools, the space to thrive, and for the members to prosper. Allow me now to upgrade myself and to read the speech of the Cabinet Minister for the Ministry of Education, of Cooperatives and Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise Development. During this Kenya National Police DT SACCO NDM held at this beautiful hotel called the Serena. It gives me great pleasure to join you today at this annual delegate meeting of the Kenya National Police DT SACCO. I'm particularly delighted to be here as your SACCO celebrates over 5 decades of cooperative excellence and launches ties that beyond their legacy, a half-century journey. Ties that beyond their legacy, a half-century journey. This publication is more than an historical account. It is a testament to discipline, solidarity, resilience, and visionary leadership since 1972. Today, we celebrate not only history, but performance, progress, and purpose. The Kenya National Police DT SACCO has built a strong institution anchored on trust, service, and financial discipline. Over the years, you have demonstrated how a well-managed cooperative can uplift members, support families, and strengthen national development. We gather here as leaders entrusted with safeguarding the savings, trust, and inspiration of hardworking Kenyans. SACCOs remain a financial backbone of households, workers, farmers, youth, and many people in the MSME sector. They are therefore central to the success of our bottom-up economic transformation agenda and Kenya's financial inclusion, economic growth. Allow me to commend the board, the management, staff, and members for delivering a strong performance in the 2025 despite a challenging macroeconomic environment characterized by high cost of living, currency pressures, and tight liquidity. Your SACCO recorded notable growth across all the key financial indicators, reinforcing its position among the leading deposit-taking SACCOs in Kenya and indeed across Africa. This performance speaks to the strong governance, sound management, and members' confidence I have with the Kenya National Police SACCO. I'm particularly pleased to know that the SACCO was rated the best managed SACCO in 2025 and has maintained a strong credit rating with a stable outlook. These achievements demonstrate robust capital adequacy, sound liquidity management, and prudent risk oversight. Your progress is integrated in ISO standards on quality management, information security, and business continuity. And business continuity management further reflects alignment with global best practices. These frameworks enhance operational resilience, strengthen internal controls, and build better confidence. Institutions that deliberately invest in strong governance structures will invariably outlast those that do not. The Kenya National Police SACCO stands as a model of what disciplined governance, strong capitalization, and professional management can achieve. As we implement sector reforms, institutions such as yours will play a critical role in setting the standards and mentoring a wider cooperative movement. As a ministry, we continue to underscore governance, regulatory compliance, and professional management as a foundation of resilient cooperative sector. We must protect member savings, uphold ethical leadership, and enforce compliance across the SACCO sector. There is no room for mismanagement, weak governance, or opaque financial practices. Recent challenges in part of the sector have tested public confidence and exposed a systemic weakness. These experiences must now serve as a turning point for reform, discipline, and renewal. Leaders of the National Police SACCO, fellow cooperators, on April 16, 2025, the Minister appointed a committee of experts to undertake a comprehensive review of the SACCO Societies Act of the year 2008. The review was necessitated by the need to align our legal and regulatory frameworks with current realities within the sectors, emerging risks, technological changes, and global trends in cooperative and financial sector regulations. Consequently, on Tuesday, February the 10th of 2026, I am the honor of leading a multi-agency delegation, together with the committee of experts, to present to His Excellency the President, Honorable Dr. William Samoei Ruto, CGH, the report on the transformation of the SACCO system in Kenya. This landmark report marks a significant milestone in our collective effort to build a SACCO system that is resilient, transparent, well-governed, and fit for the future. The report set out far-reaching reforms that will fundamentally strengthen the cooperative financial ecosystem. Key among these, as I stated earlier, is the strengthening of SACCO Society's Regulatory Authority, SASRA, and expansion of its regulatory mandatory to cover or SACCOs, thereby ensuring uniform supervision, enhanced prudential oversight, and improved protection of members' deposits across the sector. The proposed reforms also include the establishment of the SACCO Stabilization Fund to support viable SACCOs facing temporary distress and creation of a deposit guarantee fund under the Kenyan Deposit Insurance Corporation to enhance protection of members' savings and reinforce public confidence in cooperative financial institutions. Additionally, the development of a comprehensive digital registry and subsequent cleanup of dormant and non-compliant SACCO will enhance transparency, accountability, and sector credibility. To enhance governance, accountability, and stability and competitiveness, the committee recommended the development and enforcement of governance charter, Mongoso, as a baseline governance framework for all SACCOs and indeed all cooperatives. Further, proposals include increase the minimum membership duration for registration and adoption of the delegate system for SACCOs with large members, strengthening the digital member engagement, appointment of independent directors as SACCO boards, and the establishment of robust technical financial oversight structures within the institutions. In order to align our SACCOs to global cooperative financial systems, the report recommends progressive transitions towards internationally recognized credit union standards, reclassification of SACCOs into larger, medium, and small categories for appropriate regulation and supervision, and eventually establishment of a central clearinghouse framework to enhance sector liquidity management and operational efficiency. The sector must confront structural realities. Many small and inactive BOSA-only SACCOs are neither financially stable nor operationally viable. Some exist on paper and offer minimum value to their members. The time has therefore come to embrace a market-driven solutions, including mergers and consolidations. Stronger, well-capitalized SACCOs will be better positioned to serve members efficiently, manage risk effectively, and remain competitive in an evolving financial landscape. I therefore urge SACCO leaders operating within similar common bonds to initiate structured discussions on mergers and strategic alliance as a pathway to sustainability and growth. Encouraging progress has already been witnessed where smaller SACCOs have merged with stronger institutions, enabling members to access more efficient, affordable, and reliable financial services. I wish to commend the leadership of Nufaika and Fortune SACCO in Kirinyaga County for their successful merger. This is the direction the SACCO sectors must take. We also expect in this year the cooperative bill of 2024 to be concluded its legislative process alongside the targeted amendment in the SACCO Act. These reforms will further strengthen governance, protect members' deposits, and enhance financial resilience across the cooperative sectors. Fellow cooperators, as we move through this the AGM and NDM season, strict financial discipline continues to guide the SACCO sector. I wish to commend this SACCO, the Kenya National Police DT SACCO, for consistently upholding sound financial management and prudent declaration of interest and dividends based on actual performance. This is the discipline that sustains strong institutions. At the sector level, our regulator, SACCO, continues to review audited financial systems as required by the law before they are presented to members during the AGMs and the NDMs. This process is important in ensuring that all SACCOs declare returns that are supported by real surpluses, sound cash flows, and sustainable financial performance. In a few instances across the sector, regulatory review has required some SACCOs to realign proposed dividend and interest declaration with their financial positions in order to safeguard liquidity and protect member savings. Such measures are not punitive. They are necessary to preserve the institution's stability and maintain public confidence in the cooperative movement. For a strong and well-governed institutions such as Kenya National Police, DT SACCO, this commitment to financial prudence, transparency, and responsible leadership continues to set a benchmark for the entire cooperative sector, not only in this country, but across the African continent. While SACCOs are permitted to obtain external borrowing, such borrowing must be undertaken strictly within the regulatory approval frameworks. No SACCO should declare evidence on interest from borrowed funds. Where such practices are identified, decisive regulatory and administrative action must be taken and will be taken against the responsible officers. The era of unsupported dividends from non-existent surpluses is over. Let me repeat that. The era of unsupported dividend from non-existent surpluses is over. Kama hakuna haku. As regulatory oversight strengthens, we must build a sector where financial discipline translates into sustainable growth, adequate liquidity, and improved service delivery to members. The quality of external audit within the SACCO sector must also improve. Large and complex SACCOs must appoint reputable audit firms with capacity to undertake high-quality financial, ICT, and forensic audits. Strong audit assurances will enhance internal controls, strengthen governance, and mitigate risk across the sector. The ministry has issued a temporary moratorium on the registration of new SACCOs to allow for comprehensive sector review and viability assessment. Dormant and non-compliant SACCOs will be registered, and in accordance with the law, while viable institutions will continue operating under strengthened supervision and governance standards. As a government, we remain committed to enabling a strong and competitive SACCO sector. We are engaging the National Treasury, the Kenya Revenue Authority, and Parliament to ensure that fair and productive tax framework that supports SACCO growth while ensuring compliance. We are also encouraging SACCOs to position themselves for emerging opportunities in climate finance, green energy, sustainable agriculture, and carbon markets. As we strengthen governance and regulation, we must also support the reformed and stable Kenya Union of Savings and Credit Cooperatives, KUSCO, as the apex institution for capacity building, advocacy, and shared services. A cohesive SACCO sector is inherently stronger than a fragmented one. The government will continue to support and partner with the SACCO industry. Let me be clear. Compliance is not negotiable. Accountability is not optional. Integrity must define every SACCO. Together, we must restore the confidence, strengthen governance, and secure the future of a cooperative movement for generations to come. I commend you for your excellent performance and wish you, members of the Kenya National Police SACCO, continued success in the years ahead as you build an even stronger legacy for your members and for this great nation, the Republic of Kenya. I thank you, and may God bless you all. Nimeambiwa iko kitu.
Kama kawaida hatuwezi kosa kitu. Kuna kanata ka function.
So the function is the launch of the Kenya National Police DT SACCO history profile. There is a video clip to be played.
partners, and friends. Today, we celebrate more than a milestone. We celebrate a legacy. Ties that built a legacy. A half-century journey of Kenya National Police DT SACCO captures the remarkable story of Kenya National Police DT SACCO, a story born from a bud in the cooperative movement, nurtured through its formative years and strengthened by a powerful common bond. From the bold vision of our founders, through the first decade of growth, the turbulent seasons, and the establishment of savings and credit services, this publication chronicles resilience in action. It honors the stewardship of our chairs and patrons, the dedication of management and staff, and the governance structures that shaped our path. It reflects on the changes that made a difference in products and services, in technology and innovation, in partnerships and corporate leadership, celebrating both successes and setbacks that defined our journey. 3 years after commemorating our Golden Jubilee, we now gather to preserve that journey in print, reflecting with pride on how far we have come and looking ahead with confidence to even brighter days. This is our story. This is our legacy. Unveiling in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Congratulations, the Kenya National Police, for the launch. Ties that build legacy.
In 1972,
I have
a small group of disciplined officers chose to believe in a future not yet visible.
Thank you so much.
They understood service, they understood sacrifice, and they understood the power of unity.
Thank you. Chief Guest, please assist us in.
Members gathered. They debated.
So
they
it's now.
They accounted for every shilling. The journey was not without doubt. There were limitations. There were risks. There was discipline. And discipline builds trust.
So the Chief Guest is now handing over the book to the chairman. Makofi tafadhali.
Yet the founding spirit endured. Each milestone carried a fingerprint. In 1972, a small group of disciplined officers chose to believe in a future not yet visible. They understood service, they understood sacrifice, and they understood the power of unity.
So
what began as an idea will become an enduring institution.
So, Chief Guest, please assist us in issuing presents. Okay, thank you. We are going to do presents in this format under Michael Arum to the top savers, that is top savers of the year 2025, under Michael Arum Award, highest in share capital and deposits, Mr. Edward Mbogua. Mr. Mbogua, please come for your present. To be followed by other categories, Mr. Eliud Lagat, Gazetted Officer 1. To be followed by Ms. Beatrice Kiraguri, Gazetted Officer 2. Makofi yao tafadhali. So Mr. Bushiri can pick for the DIG, Mr. Lagat. Followed by Jedida Morioki, members of Inspectorate. Be followed by Mr. Nelson Karagu, other organizations. Maina Mark, NIS. Be followed by Mr. Javed Baidalu, East Africa, ESCC. To be followed by Mr. Simon Mutuku under the NCO category. Mr. Joshua Musiria under the PC category. Mr. Peter Mbuvi, a retired member. And
Morioke is here.
After Mr. Karagu is Maina Mark from NIS. Javed, to be followed by Javed Baidalu, ESCC. To be followed by Simon Mutuku. Is Baidalu with us? Okay, it's okay. Mutuku. To be followed by Mr. Joshua Musiria for the PC category. To be followed by Mr. Peter Mbuvi, a retired member. And Ms. Eunice Nyaga, Provincial Administration. Is Eunice Nyaga with us? It's okay if she's not around. So again, we will do. So next is the guest, present to the chief guest, Mr. Hon Dr. So chief guest to be apewe zawadi. That is for Hon Dr. Wycliffe Oparanya. Thank you. The PS is speaking on his behalf. To be followed by the PS himself, Mr. Patrick Kilemi. Followed by Mr. David Obonyo, Commissioner for Cooperatives. To be followed by Mr. Douglas Kanja, Inspector General. And then Mr. Boshiri can pick on his behalf for Inspector General. To be followed by Mr. Eliud Lagat, DIG, KPS. So again, Mr. Bashir is speaking. Okay. To be followed by Mr. Gilbert Masengeli, DIGAP. Followed by Dr. Amani Yuda Komora, Chairman, Commission, Kenya Police Commission. Where is Madam Commissioner? All right. And that is the end of so thank you. We can clap for them, please. Then I invite Director Tumwet to give a vote of thanks. So, Director Tumwet, after a vote of thanks, we will close with a word of prayer. Then leaders can leave at their own pleasure. So, Kigen, Pastor Kigen from Mount Elgon will close with a word of prayer. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Honsek, and the MC of the day, our chief guests, distinguished guests, founder members, board of directors, supervisory committee, ladies and gentlemen, the management and staff. On behalf of the entire fraternity of the Kenya National Police DT SACCO, I raise with humility and gratitude to deliver this vote of thanks. First and foremost, we sincerely thank our chief guest, Honorable Dr. FCPA Wycliffe Ambessa Oparanya, Minister for Cooperative and MSMEs, here represented by Honorable Patrick Kilemi, PS State Department of Cooperative, for honoring us with your presence and for the insightful address. Your words have strengthened our resolve to continue building an institution anchored on integrity, prudence, ethical leadership, and member-centered growth. We also extend our sincere appreciation to our employers, the National Police Service, through the Office of the Inspector General and the Commission, for creating an enabling environment that allows our members to serve the nation diligently while also securing their financial future through the SACCO. Your continued support strengthened our shared mission of empowerment and welfare advancement. To our founding fathers and our members and the board of members, we say thank you. Your courage, your vision and sacrifice laid the foundation of what has grown into a strong and respected financial cooperative. Because of you, we are stand on solid ground today. We have put your efforts, struggles, and your determination on the paper, ties that bind a legacy as a resource for our journey for the generations to come. We dedicated this to you. To our delegates, thank you for representing members faithfully. Your commitment and oversight, your promotion to accountability and enhancing a sustainable strategic direction ensures that this SACCO remains transparent, resilient, and future-focused. To our stakeholders and partners, we value this cooperative spirit and we have created and continue to develop in our mutual success journey. As we conclude this annual delegates meeting, we reaffirm our collective commitment to you, empowering our members through innovative products and services and financial education. We commit strengthening trust through sound and governance and transparency and building confidence by safeguarding members' resource and delivering sustainable growth. Kenya National Police DT SACCO is not just a financial institution, it is a promise to every member that their savings, aspiration, and future is secure. May you continue working together in this unity, guided by integrity and driven by service. Congratulations to all elected directors. Thank you and may God bless you, the Kenya National Police DT SACCO. Asanteni sana, Mungu wabariki, and journey masses back home, greet our members, and please continue serving them faithfully. Thank you so much.
Nataka tushukuru kupitia kwa maombi. Wacha tuombe kwa jina la Yesu. Baba, katika jina la Yesu tunakushukuru Baba, umekuwa mwaminifu tangu tulipoanza mkutano huu asubuhi ya leo. Na Baba tunakushukuru hata mchana wa leo. Baba tunaombea directors wetu, viongozi hata na wageni wetu, safari njema wanaporejea nyumbani. Hata delegates wote tunawaombea baraka wanaposafiri wafike nyumbani salama. Baba tunakushukuru. Zidi kutakaza hata chakula ambayo wanatumia, ukaibariki na ukaitakaza na damu yako asubuhi ya leo. Baba tunakushukuru na tunasema asante. Tumefika mwisho Baba, tunakushukuru. Pokea sifa na utukufu wa mchana wa leo. Na ni katika jina la Yesu ninaomba na hata kuamini.
Thank you very much.
In 1972, a small group of disciplined officers chose to believe in a future not yet visible. They understood service, they understood sacrifice, and they understood the power of unity. What began as an idea will become an enduring institution. In modest halls, members gathered. They debated, they planned, they accounted for every shilling. The journey was not without doubt. There were limitations, there were risks, but there was discipline, and discipline built trust. The vision moved from paper to possibility. Homes were built, investments secured, infrastructure expanded, leadership evolved, yet the founding spirit endured. Each milestone carried the fingerprints of those who dared to begin. As the years advanced, so did the mission. The SACCO became more than a financial institution. It became a pillar of empowerment, supporting members, educating communities, standing with the nation. The ties were growing stronger. Recognition followed responsibility. Innovation followed growth. From digital transformation to national accolades, Kenya Police DT SACCO emerged as a benchmark for cooperative excellence. Not by chance, but by principle. 50 years later, the dream still stands. The founding generation laid the cornerstone. Successive generations built upon it. What began in faith now stands in legacy, anchored in discipline, driven by vision, built for generations yet to come. In 1972, a small group of disciplined officers chose to believe in a future not yet visible. They understood service, they understood sacrifice, and they understood the power of unity. What began as an idea would become an enduring institution. In modest halls, members gathered. They debated, they planned, they accounted for every shilling. The journey was not without doubt. There were limitations, there were risks, but there was discipline, and discipline built trust. The vision moved from paper to possibility. Homes were built, investments secured, infrastructure expanded, leadership evolved, yet the founding spirit endured. Each milestone carried the fingerprints of those who dared to begin. As the years advanced, so did the mission. The SACCO became more than a financial institution. It became a pillar of empowerment, supporting members, educating communities, standing with the nation. The ties were growing stronger. Recognition followed responsibility. Innovation followed growth. From digital transformation to national accolades, Kenya Police DT SACCO emerged as a benchmark for cooperative excellence. Not by chance, but by principle. 50 years later, the dream still stands. The founding generation laid the cornerstone. Successive generations built upon it. What began in faith now stands in legacy, anchored in discipline, driven by vision, built for generations yet to come. In 1972, a small group of disciplined officers chose to believe in a future not yet visible. They understood service, they understood sacrifice, and they understood the power of unity. What began as an idea would become an enduring institution. In modest halls, members gathered. They debated, they planned, they accounted for every shilling. The journey was not without doubt. There were limitations, there were risks, but there was discipline, and discipline built trust. The vision moved from paper to possibility. Homes were built, investments secured, infrastructure expanded, leadership evolved, yet the founding spirit endured. Each milestone carried the fingerprints of those who dared to begin. As the years advanced, so did the mission. The SACCO became more than a financial institution. It became a pillar of empowerment, supporting members, educating communities, standing with the nation. The ties were growing stronger. Recognition followed responsibility. Innovation followed growth. From digital transformation to national accolades, Kenya Police DT SACCO emerged as a benchmark for cooperative excellence. Not by chance, but by principle. 50 years later, the dream still stands. The founding generation laid the cornerstone. Successive generations built upon it. What began in faith now stands in legacy, anchored in discipline, driven by vision, built for generations yet to come. In 1972, a small group of disciplined officers chose to believe in a future not yet visible. They understood service, they understood sacrifice, and they understood the power of unity. What began as an idea would become an enduring institution. In modest halls, members gathered. They debated, they planned, they accounted for every shilling. The journey was not without doubt. There were limitations, there were risks, but there was discipline, and discipline built trust. The vision moved from paper to possibility. Homes were built, investments secured, infrastructure expanded, leadership evolved, yet the founding spirit endured. Each milestone carried the fingerprints of those who dared to begin. As the years advanced, so did the mission. The SACCO became more than a financial institution. It became a pillar of empowerment, supporting members, educating communities, standing with the nation. The ties were growing stronger. Recognition followed responsibility. Innovation followed growth. From digital transformation to national accolades, Kenya Police DT SACCO emerged as a benchmark for cooperative excellence. Not by chance, but by principle. 50 years later, the dream still stands. The founding generation laid the cornerstone. Successive generations built upon it. What began in faith now stands in legacy, anchored in discipline, driven by vision, built for generations yet to come. In 1972, a small group of disciplined officers chose to believe in a future not yet visible, stood serving